Yo, 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 yo. Welcome, y'all. Weekly review of the week of 6 May. Let's get straight into business. So, what was my bias coming into the week? It was that we are bullish until proven otherwise. We are also in this propulsion block, so I would be cautious. As you guys can see, this weekly delivery was not so nice. So, if we were to go up, where would we go up from? Is the first thing I asked myself. And it was either the daily fair value gap or this H4 breaker right here. And as you guys can see, both these PDRAs, so discount array, gave us a entry, even though it was not yet in discount. Except, so the daily fair value gap was not in discount, gave us an entry, and then the H4 breaker was, and it gave us the real move. So that's why I tell y'all, use these daily fair value gaps as PDRAs because truly they work. They give a reaction. Damn, that reaction worth didn't come out of my mouth that good. So Monday starts. We don't trade this because there's no news and it's probably accumulation. Then we have a daily fair value gap. And guys know I love daily fair value gaps. So coming into London session, not much action. Then we have SMT with DXY. So DXY did this. Obviously it's inverse because DXY went like this. So then this becomes my mitigation block type beat. And this mitigation block, we have one more rate into displacement at a key time. That's a unicorn. Target 2RR. Good trade. Then the next day, Wednesday, a little voice crack. Why was this not a good trade? We had no news. London wasn't showing intent to go up. But okay, like we have news the day after and no news on Wednesday. So what can you do? You can wait for H1 change in the state of delivery, and then you wait for a fair value gap the next day, and then you long from the unicorn there, okay, or from the breaker wherever. So this trade, it was low probability. Why we have not yet reached discount? Let me show y'all. Bro, I want to make it perfect. Okay, so we have a fair value gap indicating that we are blasting down, and then the next day, like it's risky. This day we don't have a fair value gap, and look at the next day, it flies up. This fair value gap was also an indication like we ain't going up, and we didn't, as you guys can see. And another little gem at key premium arrays where you think that your trade might get invalidated, monitor it closely and close accordingly. Easy as. So this was low probability trade in my opinion. Why? No news. We are not in discount, etc. The next day, obviously, when the news releases, we have a beautiful, beautiful setup, man. It's actually disgusting how this market works. It truly is disgusting how this market works, like clockwork, always the same shit. Truly insane. Like I cannot believe it. So what happens at a key time? We make the Judas swing. Now, obviously, we did not close above, and I tell you, I'll just trade when we close above. But when we disrespect fair value gaps and start creating fair value gaps to the upside, and the propulsion block, we respect it, and then we are just fucking around here until news release. Like, you might want to take the risk. You feel me? So this was a beautiful trade. I then took it personally. Unlucky. And then the next day. So this day I was so cautious. Why was I took two break evens, by the way? Why was I cautious right here? Because what I told y'all in the market maker video on the second stage, we have origin consolidation, distribution, smart money reversal, first stage accumulation, second stage, and then it flies up. So where do we have our first stage? Right here. Nowhere. This is our first stage, in my opinion. So I was not as confident that this would go up. Why? Because I was thinking like, okay, if we are going to have our accumulation, I want to see it. Like I want to see an obvious one. Because if we are going to draw on liquidity, I want to see two stages. That's just me. I don't know why, but that's just how I thought, and that saved me a lot of headache here. I was thinking like, okay, I want to see a second stage. I mean, we didn't have a second stage, so why would we go to this draw on liquidity right now? So I risked it, but I managed it accordingly because we were not in the second stage, we were in the first stage. So I was expecting this to go up, come back down, give us a real entry to the draw on liquidity. So next week, hopefully, we might reach there, unless this is a reversal area, and then we might have SMT with GU. Now we don't know yet. We have to trade accordingly. You feel me? Like, you never know. So that was the week. So let me go over this trade. Okay, we tapped the fair value gap. We have SMT. You can try to long. It was not a high probability long, and that's why I managed it very aggressively. I'm not losing equity on this long. Like, I already had like a FOMO feeling because I missed this one. So obviously, the next day you're not gonna think straight. So I knew like I'm just making up stuff. And then when I saw this was the most obvious seek and destroy profile, by the way. That's why I was, look, there's a gem. If we have a seek and destroy type profile, why would you think that this would follow up? So I knew that, what time was news here? Let me open, I hope okay, nice. I was like, maybe I'm not recording my screen, I would go crazy. But I am recording it. So we had news at 10 a.m. So this. Now I positioned myself early because I was like, okay, if news is going to push this up, we are not going to get a beautiful unicorn. We are going to get a weird unicorn like this. So I was like, okay, let me position myself early because I know that if this is a seek and destroy profile, it will go at least to this high. So when we reach this high, I want to see a reaction. And now when you go to this time frame, you can see that this high, low, high. Wait, damn, high, low, high. Low, high, low, high, low. This is one leg. And then this, in my opinion, this stuff is all like internal type beat. So if price was gonna go up, I don't want to see it come back here. So I was already break even. I wanted to see this hold price up. Why? Because in my eyes, this is like the breaker that should hold price up with news. Because if we were to go up, we will not retrace. Why? Trap traders. What happened? Like, it gave a nice reaction at first because I was monitoring this closely. So when we go to the 1 minute, you can see news came out. It looked like it was going to go up. Then it just slowly came back. Unlucky. And that was a review of the week. I hope this video was helpful. Let me keep these positions on because I want to journal in my own journal. And I'm going to make an outlook too. All right, peace.